When you live with health anxiety like I do, you're constantly searching for something solid you can hold on to, something that helps you feel like you're actively taking steps toward a healthier life. I've gone down every rabbit hole, Googled every symptom, and tried every new trend. But what I've learned over time is that the simple, time-tested approaches often work best. One of the most powerful tools I've found to both calm my health anxiety and genuinely improve my well-being is the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet isn't really a diet in the strict sense. It's not about cutting out entire food groups, depriving yourself, or counting calories until you drive yourself mad. Instead, it's a way of eating that people in Mediterranean countries like Greece, Italy, and Spain have followed for centuries. Researchers first noticed that these populations had lower rates of heart disease, longer lifespans, and overall better health compared to many Western countries. Since then, countless scientific studies have shown that the Mediterranean diet protects against chronic disease, supports brain health, and even helps regulate mood and anxiety. For me, someone who constantly worries about my health, that last point is huge. Knowing that what I put on my plate can help me feel calmer, reduce my anxiety symptoms, and protect my long-term health at the same time is incredibly reassuring. It gives me a sense of control in an area where I often feel powerless. The Mediterranean diet is built around whole, minimally processed foods. It emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and lean proteins like fish and poultry, with only occasional red meat and sweets. Right away, that framework checks a lot of boxes for someone like me. These foods aren't just healthy in the vague sense. They've been shown in clinical research to reduce inflammation, lower cholesterol, improve gut health, and regulate blood sugar, all of which matter for both physical and mental health. One of the first things that stands out to me is heart health. With health anxiety, I can't tell you how many times I've been convinced I was having a heart attack. Every chest pain, every skipped beat, my mind runs wild. So knowing that the Mediterranean diet is perhaps the most heart-protective eating pattern studied gives me peace of mind. The high intake of olive oil, nuts, fish, and fiber-rich foods helps reduce LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, while also improving blood vessel function. Studies like the pre-dimed trial, which followed thousands of people for years, showed that those who followed a Mediterranean diet had significantly fewer heart attacks and strokes. For someone like me, who spends way too much time fearing a sudden cardiac event, this is a huge comfort. But the benefits don't stop at the heart. Another major area is brain health. Anxiety often makes me worry about dementia or cognitive decline. Every forgotten word or moment of brain fog can spiral into panic. The Mediterranean diet has been linked to better cognitive performance and a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. The diet is high in antioxidants from fruits and vegetables, omega-3 fatty acids from fish, and anti-inflammatory compounds from olive oil, all of which protect neurons and support healthy brain aging. Research shows that people who adhere closely to this diet have larger brain volumes and slower rates of cognitive decline. That knowledge alone calms me, because it feels like I'm actively doing something to protect my brain. Mental health is another area where the Mediterranean diet shines. Anxiety, especially health anxiety, thrives when your body feels off balance. Poor diet, blood sugar spikes, and nutrient deficiencies can all amplify anxious thoughts. The Mediterranean diet stabilizes blood sugar with fiber and whole grains, preventing those jittery highs and crashes that mimic anxiety symptoms. It also provides key nutrients for mood regulation, like magnesium, folate, and omega-3s, all of which are linked to reduced anxiety and depression. There have even been randomized controlled trials showing that the Mediterranean diet can directly improve mood disorders. One study, the SMILES trial, found that people with moderate to severe depression experienced significant improvements after adopting a Mediterranean-style diet compared to a control group. Since anxiety and depression often overlap, this gives me hope that the foods I choose can directly influence my mental state. When I stick to this eating pattern, I honestly notice a difference. I feel steadier, calmer, and less prone to spiraling into catastrophic thinking. Another aspect that helps with health anxiety is the anti-inflammatory nature of the Mediterranean diet. Chronic inflammation is linked to conditions ranging from heart disease to cancer, and it also plays a role in mood and anxiety disorders. For someone like me who often fears hidden diseases, reducing inflammation feels like lowering the background noise of my anxiety. The diet's emphasis on colorful fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, and healthy fats naturally lowers inflammation markers in the body. It's like giving my immune system the right environment to thrive instead of constantly being on edge. Gut health is another piece of the puzzle. More and more research is showing the connection between the gut and the brain, the so-called gut-brain axis. A healthy gut microbiome produces neurotransmitters like serotonin and influences mood and anxiety. The Mediterranean diet, rich in fiber from vegetables, legumes, and whole grains, feeds beneficial gut bacteria. In turn, this helps regulate inflammation, improve digestion, and support a calmer mind. Whenever my digestion is off, my health anxiety spikes because I start imagining worst-case scenarios. But when I eat a Mediterranean-style diet, my digestion is smoother, and that alone removes a huge source of worry. Weight management also ties into both physical and mental health. Carrying extra weight can lead to fears about diabetes, heart disease, or joint issues, all of which fuel my health anxiety. The Mediterranean diet isn't restrictive, but because it's naturally rich in satisfying, nutrient-dense foods, it makes it easier to maintain a healthy weight without obsessing over every calorie. It's not about being skinny, it's about feeling like I'm taking practical steps to reduce risk factors that my anxious mind tends to fixate on. One of the underrated benefits for people like me is that the Mediterranean diet is sustainable. With health anxiety, I've often jumped into strict diets hoping they'd fix everything, only to burn out or feel worse. This way of eating isn't extreme. It allows flexibility, enjoyment, and balance. You can still have a piece of dark chocolate or a celebratory meal without guilt. That sustainability reduces stress because I don't feel like I'm constantly breaking some rigid rule. Instead, I feel like I'm living in harmony with a pattern of eating that supports my body long term. What I also love is that the Mediterranean diet isn't just about food. It's also about lifestyle, enjoying meals with others, being physically active, reducing stress, and sleeping well. All of those elements directly impact anxiety. Eating slowly, savoring flavors, and connecting with people over meals helps calm the nervous system. For someone who often eats quickly or anxiously, slowing down and being mindful makes a real difference. I don't always eat Mediterranean-style meals every single day, and that's okay. The point is that the more I lean into this way of eating, the more grounded and reassured I feel. When my health anxiety starts to flare up, I remind myself that every bite of colorful vegetables, every drizzle of olive oil, and every piece of salmon is an investment in both my body and my peace of mind. If you struggle with health anxiety like I do, the Mediterranean diet can be more than just food. It can be a framework for calming your mind, reducing your fears, and building resilience against the very things we worry about most. And that, for me, is worth every single bite.